of 1968. That summer when I came home from camp, my world changed. I was 9 and about to meet a lady 13 years my senior, whose influence would help mold and define who I am in this incarnation. Once home, I noticed 2 little boys in my backyard playing on my swing set. I'd never seen them before, and outside I went to find out who they were. I was informed that the boys were Eric and Paul, and they moved into our coach house with Roger, our tenant, and their mother. I yelled up at the coach house window. "Hello, hello," I called out. The French window swung open, and the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in real life peeked out, flashing a dazzling smile. My knees weakened, but I managed to eke out, "Your kids are playing on my swing set." "My kids can't play on your swing set?" she asked in a lyrical voice, so sing-song sweet that I almost passed out. "I guess so," I shrugged. "I'm Cherri," she said. "Come on up." When I stepped into her home, it was as if I had entered the TARDIS and we had landed somewhere else in time and space. I would say it was psychedelic chic, but it was so much more than that. I knew I had been invited into a whole new way of thinking and seeing this world, and at that moment, my life would never be the same. She had beaded curtains. Over her lamps hung delicate sheer squares of fabric, making the light glow softly. On the hardwood floor was a huge Persian rug that was thick with intricate, warm colors. Tossed about the room were giant decorative mirrored pillows and oversized chairs. Her home always smelled like pure wine, candles, oils, and incense. There was no TV, only a stereo with speakers, a turntable, and a receiver that read JVC. Books were in every corner and tumbled from shelves overhead and underfoot. I love books, and these were books on astrology and numerology, the I Ching and psychology. She had Gibran's The Prophet, a book that became my Bible in high school. She had magazines, GQ, Vogue, Rob Report, and Architectural Digest, which sparked my love for design. She had exquisite taste in all things. In her kitchen, a large ledge ran along the walls, and there were tall bar stools where we would sit and dine on the organic meals she prepared. There was no white flour, no white sugar, no white bread, and absolutely no white cow's milk in her kitchen. She prepared her own milk made from powdered psyllium. That day she served us Catherine Clark health nut bread, toasted and drizzled with orange blossom honey, sprinkled with raisins on bone china as a quick snack. "Kimberly, keep your health in order. Mind, body, spirit. Your body is your holy temple." And for the next 50 years of my life, I remained a part of her extended family. She became my big sister, her children, my nieces and nephew, my son, her grandson. She took me everywhere. She drugged me through health food stores, resale shops, flea markets, not to mention Bonwitella, Saks, and IMAX. We toured art fairs and outdoor music fests all across the city. During summer, we lived at the lake and we took elaborate picnic baskets filled to the brim with organic foods and cheeses and nuts and delicious beverages. The storybook of my life is filled with her pictures. Cherri at my graduation, Cherri fixing my wedding bell, Cherri at the hospital holding my newborn son, Cherri at that same hospital 19 years later holding me as they told me he no longer needed life support because he was now breathing on his own again. Cherri's home was my haven. I was there when she came home from the hospital with Imani and again Zalika, her daughters. She taught me, you must nurse your children. I ran to her home during those dark, stormy times of my heartbreaking adolescence when I hated myself and the world. Cherri there for my mom once I had descended into utter madness and decided I did not want to live. It was Cherri who stood sentinel with her until I reopened my eyes and rejoined the living. And so she has been for me, my most beloved and cherished friend. August 11, 2018. Cherri spent the whole day with my family. It was my dad's 88th birthday, and we gathered to honor him and celebrate all of his accomplishments. We laughed, talked, ate, reeled in and out of each other with those good high-fiving, gut-busting, knee-slapping, what about the time tales. It was a perfectly glorious day. When she left, she sashayed out, waving her hand. Love you, baby. Call you tomorrow. Love you, kiss, kiss. Get some rest. I will, she replied. On 12 August 2018, Cherri released her body and took her flight, and I remain inconsolable. She is no longer with me on this side of the veil, and I am left to mourn and celebrate that bad, beautiful woman of the earth and the cosmos. I cherish those lessons she fed from me. She fed me from her tree of life. Her fruit hung high, but she bowed so I could pick the very best. Death is simply transformation, change, the mystery unfolded. I now bathe in the light of her cosmic smile. She left my life as she had entered on a warm summer day, and like that day, my life will never be the same.